They told you storytelling is only for naturals, that only people that are interesting and who have exciting lives can captivate the room and own the stage. But just give me 7 minutes and I'll prove to you that you don't need to be interesting to own the stage. All you need to do is to know how to grab attention. You also need to know how to trigger that attention, build tension, and deliver a moment that nobody will ever forget.
Most people aren't invincible, they're just unclear. This is Brand Story School with Dr. Ish. Subscribe to build your brand with clarity, story, and bold strategy. Hi, I'm Dr. Ish, and I teach smart professionals how to turn their everyday moments into unforgettable stories that sell, inspire, and lead. In today's video, you'll get my magnetic storytelling formula that works even if you think you have nothing interesting to say. Ready to unlock it? Magnetic storytellers don't start with background. They start with tension. In moments of confusion, drama, failure, or a bold question. For example, I was 2 seconds from quitting. Then this happened. This is how you pull people in. When you pull people in, you also help them to lean forward towards you. The human brain doesn't remember data. It remembers emotion. People basically remember how you make them feel at every point in time. They may not even remember the exact words, but they remember that emotional feeling, that emotional connection. You have to tell us how it felt to be there. Were you nervous? Were you angry? Were you embarrassed? Let us feel it, not just hear it. We have to feel it in the way you tell your story. When coaching, I always tell my clients, avoid generalities. Zoom into one clear moment. The sentence that was said, the sound in the room, the way you looked at your shoes, specific moments, sticky memories, the ones that you're finding it very difficult to forget, the ones that, set you on that stool, that pace that made you feel that particular strong emotion, if it's happiness, sadness, embarrassment, anger, whatever emotion, whatever way you felt, you need to be descriptive. You need to describe how you felt so that the people listening to you can also visualize themselves in your shoes. And most likely, if they felt the same thing you felt, it would be easier for them to resonate with whatever story it is you are telling. You see, every good story, there are different kinds of stories, but every good story has a point of transformation. There must be a point where some level of transformation has taken place. What shifted for you? What did you learn? What did you lose? What did you gain? And what did you realize? This is the heart of that story. Try not to end with, at the end of your story, try not to end with, and then I succeeded. No. You have to end with a callback to the tension, to that problem you started with at the beginning, or a surprising insight that your audience can resonate with. For instance, you can say something like, that's when I realized I wasn't afraid of failure anymore. I was afraid of being seen. Give your story an echo. And even after you have succeeded at this, you need to practice retelling your story like a TikTok voiceover, You must have different versions of your stories. You can have one version, a 30-second version. You can have another version which is like 2 minutes, another version in 7 minutes. All right, you must have like 2, 3, or 4 different versions of your story in terms of the length of time, so that you can tell the story depending on the kind of audience. Some audiences will not have that luxury of time. So 30 seconds, 2 minutes, 7 minutes is fine. That's how you sharpen your edge and sound magnetic on any platform you find yourself. Trust me, you don't need a movie-worthy life to be a magnetic storyteller. You don't need to be a movie star or some top personality to have a magnetic story. No, you just need the right moments, the right emotion. Remember, I said descriptive. You have to be able to describe how you felt. And you need confidence to tell it your way, your own way, not any other person's way. And these are just the basics you need to be a magnetic storyteller. So now hit the subscribe button, because next week I'll show you how to turn these stories into content that builds authority and earns you income. So let's get a quick recap. Remember the steps. Step 1 is to start with a tension trigger. You must be able to describe that moment of tension, that point that you were feeling some certain level of discomfort or pain. And then step 2 is to anchor that tension. Anchor it in emotion, descriptive emotion, because people don't remember data, they remember how they feel. So you have to be able to communicate effectively how you felt: anger, happiness, embarrassment, but I'm talking about from the tension point of view now. So it has to be a bad feeling, because that's the first point of call. That's what you're going to use to grab the attention of your audience, first of all. Then step 3 is to be able to narrate the specific moments. Remember, I said you need to avoid being general. You can't just pick too many occasions. You have to pick on one particular clear moment that you are going to speak about. Just one memory is okay. One sticky memory is fine. Then step 4 is to talk about that moment where you experienced that change, that moment where you experienced that shift, because every good story has a point of transformation. And you must have a closer. You must end the story with a point where some certain level of victory or success came in. Remember, I said end with a callback to that tension you started with at the beginning, like when the point of realization came in, and just something that your audience can also resonate with. It must always be from a point 0 to a point 100. And don't forget the aspect where I said you need to practice, because practice makes you better. You need to keep retelling your story in different versions. The same story, but just different length of time to suit the kind of audience you're going to speak to, or the stage you're going to be given an opportunity, to pitch your story. So if you enjoyed this topic, don't forget to like, comment, and of course subscribe, so that you won't miss other very interesting brand building topics, personal branding topics, that are going to help to move your business, your personal brand, your sales, closing deals, and positioning yourself strategically for your career or your business.